Beautiful day, you beautiful beings of light. How are we doing on this wonderful, wonderful Sunday today? Happy Jumpstart Sunday. Last week was Mother's Day. I did an impromptu video that is only on my Facebook page. And I do want to wish you, all you wonderful women and fathers playing both roles, happy belated Mother's Day. Thank you for all that you do for your children, for yourselves, and for your community. Love you guys so much. Thank you. Now, for this week, I want us to stay on the topic of peace because it is very important that we gain a real deep understanding of what is peace, how do we attain peace, how do we keep peace, and how do we protect our peace. So it is just extremely important that we focus on this as long as Spirit tells me to. I try to allow my Holy Spirit to speak through, not my ego, so that I can gain more insight as well. This week, we are working on recognizing what our triggers are, recognizing our trauma responses, and recognizing our ego trips, so that we are able to break these cycles in our lives that we're working so hard to break, and so that we can attain, keep, and protect our peace. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about the triggers, okay? Because a lot of people say nowadays, oh, you're triggering me, or I feel triggered. And it's really good that you're able to speak up and advocate for yourself. But what can you do to get through that trigger? Our goal is not to point the finger at people and being like, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. Our goal is to pay attention to our body, our mental state, our emotional state, our spiritual state. For instance, my height and my weight has been an issue. One of my triggers, someone may say something like, that little short fat chick right there. Well, when I said that, I'm already noticing what happens inside me. Well, I get a little bit of butterflies. I feel like something inside me feels a little queasy. I don't like that. Ooh, what is that? Okay, so acknowledging and recognizing that trigger, something I don't like. Well, what do I need to do to smooth out that feeling within me? Well, I feel some way because I did at one point, I picked up those beliefs and took them on as my own. So that little weird feeling that I have, like that old me being like, yeah, you are short and you are fat. And who's gonna think you're attractive? You're not attractive. Well, when that happens, I then have to immediately start telling myself that I'm beautiful. Everybody's different, and that's okay to be different. My height serves me, my weight serves me well. I acknowledge and see that something that you said or did, or even something that I said or did to myself, caused a trigger within me, caused an uneasy feeling inside me. And I had to think of the root, the basis. Why does it make me feel this way? What are my core beliefs in this that are not my own? What did I pick up that is not my own? And how can I rewire my mental? Because you do not get over the traumas, past triggers, without facing them head on and changing your thought process, your mindset, your emotional state, all of that. You have to put in the work. You can't avoid the triggers. You can't pretend that when someone says something hurtful to you, that it does not affect you. That's not how healing, growing, being one with self works. That's not how it works at all. So to be one with self, to love ourselves fully and completely, we must go through those painful triggers. Our traumas, we must face these triggers. We cannot avoid them because it's only going to show up again. Your goal is to face them head on and change your perception, your thought process, and your emotional state. Change the self-talk. Turn it into positive self-talk instead of negative, and hold on to that and believe in that, okay? Another thing we need to recognize is our trauma response. Now we can acknowledge, okay, I'm triggered here, okay? Now I need to face that head on. But a lot of times when we get triggered, we go straight into trauma response. We don't even pay attention that we're triggered, or we do, and then we blame that person for triggering us, and then we go even further and then respond to really what happened before, to what's happening right now. And a lot of times, the people that we are responding to right now are so confused because they're like, well, first off, this response was not called for what I just said or did. So how do I know when I'm in a trauma response? Well, first, I acknowledge that I was triggered. Something triggered me. And in that, I did not do positive self-talk. I didn't talk myself down. What I did was relived a whole old situation as if I was still in that situation, thinking this person is doing me the exact same way. And so I respond in that sense. I did not slow down to acknowledge that, okay, I'm triggered because of past situations. I did not slow down to take the time to actually analyze the situation that I'm being presented with right now. I am still reliving past experiences, and I responded in a defensive manner versus being like, I acknowledge I'm triggered, but this has nothing to do with this person, and what they're asking has nothing to do with me. How do I respond to this? Calm down, Tia. You're not in a compromising situation. And then I respond. And that leads me into understanding our ego trips. Because our ego is there to keep us safe. It's there so that we do not run into those same detrimental situations that we may have been in the past. It's there to save us. So pat yourself on the back. Thank you, ego. Thank you for keeping me safe when I really needed it. But is your ego serving you at your current state, where you are right now? Is your ego telling you it's 100% threat when it may only be a 20%? Threat is a threat. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But are you in dire need? Does your ego have to save you at all costs? Are you on an ego trip right now? You going way far and beyond? You didn't just go into a trigger response. It's like real quick and out. We there. Yeah. But when you on an ego trip, that lasts. That doesn't just go in and out real quick. That ego trip can last days. It can last weeks. It can last months. If you do not get your ego in check, it can last time. It can take over. You can ruin relationships, life situations, all because you are in such a heightened adrenaline state where you feel like you are in so much danger, or you need to get out of this situation or whatever, that your responses are no longer warranted at all. And a lot of the times you're not even responding anymore. You're now acting. Now you put yourself in this one-man show saying I'm all alone, but you're not acknowledging that you're putting yourself there because you are in a whole nother world. You're seeing your past situation as if it's right now. And that is not always the case. But if you can acknowledge that, hey, I've been working really hard on myself. I have grown exponentially. I understand that I have some traumas that I still need to get over, but I am not inviting those same type of people in my life anymore. When you're able to do that, that's when you're truly able to heal and treat people for who they are, not who your past situations were. See yourself in a different light. Work with yourself. Pay attention to what's triggering you. Do positive self-talk. Talk to yourself in a better manner. Erase those negative old core beliefs that do not belong to you. Create new core beliefs that do belong to you, your truths, because you know You know that you're a being of light. You know you don't have negative intentions. You know you walk in love. These are your truths. You know that you're beautiful inside and out. It's okay to receive criticism. It's okay to receive guidance. If it's coming from love, receive what is for you, what works for you, and throw away what doesn't. But if you're looking for that in every aspect of your life, you are not looking within to speak to the Holy Spirit within you, to learn who you are, to get through these triggers, to heal from within, to love yourself fully and move forward. We are working on peace. We want to have peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. People can be like, look like you got a whole whirlwind going on in your life. How are you so peaceful? Because you understand that the universe already has you in its hands. God has you in his hands. You know that you are safe and you are protected. You know that your ego has kept you safe this whole time in your life before acknowledging your higher self. And now you know that your higher self can merge with your ego now, and that they can keep you in an uplifted, healthy, safe place. I am at peace. I am at peace. Say that to yourself. I am at peace. Even if there is too much chaos and loudness going around, the Bible does say, speak those that are not as if they were. And there are multiple other sayings that are outside of the Bible that lets us know that life and death is in the power of your tongue. I am at peace. I am at peace. The more you say that to yourself, the more you are downloading that into your subconscious. Your subconscious is working with the universe to help you gain that peace that you are already claiming. Even if it's not there yet, tell yourself that. Before you thought you were ugly, you had to hear that over and over and over again. Whether it was one time somebody saying it and you saying it 50 million times in your head, you heard it over and over and over again until it became your truth. Your physical appearance can become that because of the truth that you took on that really wasn't true. What are your core beliefs that are really not yours? What do you need to do to shift them to what's yours, what's true, what's loving, what's positive, what's uplifting? How can you become aligned with your higher self, your spirit, and your ego? How? Let's break these cycles. Let's acknowledge what our triggers are. Acknowledge when we are in trauma response, and acknowledge when we are on ego trips. Change our self-talk, change our responses, change our lives. You have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. I love you. Peace.